The pickle. There's nothing quite like it. And you know what? They're really easy to make at home. You can put them on a burger, you can put them on hot dogs, slice them up, put them on a sandwich, cut them up, put them into a sauce. A lot of applications for a great pickle. You don't have to buy them at the store. Trust me, very easy. Watch This Dad Cooks, and we'll show you just how easy it is to make your own pickles at home and feed your family. They'll love you for it. Come on, watch this video.
I can see the outline of your body shape.
I'm a dad.
Okay, you don't have to have a dad.
So, welcome back to This Dad Cooks. Today, easy, short video on how to make your own pickles at home. They're amazing, and best of all, when you go to a friend's house, you bring that 6-pack of beer and you're like, hey, I'm here. Oh, guess what? I made my own pickles too. They're gonna love you for things like that. So, let's get going, all right? This is a pickle I made about 2 weeks ago. Got that? Mm. Right? It's good stuff. I'm eating right now. Spicy. Here's what we've got. We've got 12 1-pint mason jars. What we have to do before we do anything else is we have to sterilize them. So if you see behind me right here, I've got my mason jars in the pot of boiling or hot water, and we're just sterilizing them. So put your jar in, don't burn yourself, let it sink. There we go. Put your lid in, and just let them sit in there for 5 or 6 minutes. Doesn't have to be a long time. White vinegar, 1 cup. Now you can use a mixture of apple cider vinegar and white vinegar, just apple cider vinegar, or just white vinegar. I've tended to use white vinegar with good results, so I'm going to stick with that. Maybe one of these days I'll experiment with some apple cider. Sure, come on. So we're just going to add our 1 cup of white distilled vinegar to our boiling water. And then, oh yeah, this is my new whisk that my wife bought, because on my first video she said the whisk was so ugly that she couldn't watch the video. So this is my new whisk. What do you think? Cool. All right, so we've got 1 cup of pickling salt. We're gonna add that. All right, use that. Just mix it together. It shouldn't take long for it to mix. That's one of the nice things about pickling salt, is when you mix it together into the water, it dissolves pretty quickly. So this is what we're gonna aim for right here. Can you get a close up? We got all these good spices in there. We got mustard seed, cloves, coriander, hot pepper, dill, got turmeric, some red pepper flakes, a lot of good stuff in there. Oh, garlic, don't forget the garlic. All right, so this is our goal. Pickle.
Zombie, rah, rah, rah.
This, when you go to buy one of these, it's called a gherkin. I actually went to the store and asked for pickling cucumbers. No one knew what I was talking about. I think you can call them pickling cucumbers, but when you're looking for them, you want to look for a gherkin cucumber. We've got our pickle. The very first thing we want to do is cut the ends off. We want to cut these ends off because apparently there's an enzyme in the end of the pickle that will cause the pickle to get kind of mushy when you pickle it. I'm saying pickle a lot, but today's about pickling, so don't worry about it. So when you put these into that pickling juice, that enzyme will cause this gherkin to then sort of get smushy and not so good. You want that crisp pickle, right? So we cut the ends off. All right, and then we just cut it in half. And then we can cut it into another half. What we've got are there spears, and that's what I want to work with. Now I'll show you, just for shits and giggles. Just do this, and there you go. You can just put your pickles in that way if you want halves. Again, I don't, so we've got our spears. And then I keep throwing those over there. Sandwich slices. So we could just cut them kind of thick if you want. And you can have a whole jar of these if you'd like. Nothing wrong with that. I think that's pretty good, right? And you could put those into a jar and have little sandwich slices. I love these on a burger. Throw like 2-3 of these on a burger, sometimes on a sandwich, to get like a roast beef sandwich or something. Those are good. All right, so for the sake of time, I will cut a bunch of these now and edit it out so you don't have to watch me cut pickles for 15 minutes. All right, so for these pickles, we're gonna need garlic. We're gonna put whole cloves in, but we're gonna need a lot of them. So I'm gonna show you a little trick here on how to get the skin off these garlic cloves kind of quickly. If you've ever worked with garlic in the past in your cooking, you'll know that getting the skin off garlic can be a pain. If you're doing 1 clove, not a big deal, but we're gonna be working with 2 cloves per jar, 12 jars, so 24 cloves of garlic. And you think about peeling 24 cloves of garlic, it can be an all-day affair. So first of all, when you have a head of garlic like this, you flip it over on its face, and you got the tush of the garlic, and you just take the palm of your hand and you push, and you explode them all over the kitchen, which is okay. So look, we've got a mess, right? Anytime you work with garlic, you're gonna kind of have a mess. No big deal. All right, so I had to go off camera for a minute to go get the garlic that I exploded all over the kitchen. But so we have a number of nice cloves here of garlic. We're gonna want a little bit more, so break down on them. There we go, a little bit more garlic. So here's the trick I'm talking about. We're gonna put them into our jar, all right? So let's put a whole bunch of garlic into our jar. Garlic mess. All right. We put our lid on. Got that? Garlic in jar, lid on, and then shake, shake, shake your rump. They're not all gonna be clean, but look, got that?
Oh, you can't find your finger. Here.
Got a really nice clove of garlic. Most of them are gonna come out that way. We're gonna have a few that are gonna be a little stubborn and will not be completely peeled. And that's fine, because when that happens, we put them back and we just give them an extra shake. I'm tired. And there you go. They're all deshelled now. So now we have a ton of garlic without the shells. All right, I'm gonna clean this up and we'll get back to the video. So when you go to the store, you can buy pickling spices, but you can make them at home too. It's pretty simple. It's just a number of spices. You can mix and match sort of based on what your preferences are. And the key is you have to have whole spices. So for example, you don't want ground pepper, you want whole black peppercorns. You don't want ground coriander, you want whole coriander. Same goes for cloves, mustard seeds, allspice, any of that stuff. You have to have whole spices. You put in these powders, they're just gonna dissolve It's gonna overpower things. It's not gonna work out. You have to use whole spices. We're gonna make our own pickling spice. I'm gonna feature turmeric and coriander and black peppercorn because I'm kind of a fan of the Clausen pickles. And so if you put those spices with some garlic and dill, you get kind of a similar flavor to those Clausen pickles. So we've got whole black peppercorns, coriander, a little bit of bay leaves that we're gonna crush in our hands, cloves, mustard seeds, turmeric, which is kind of the star of the show if you ask me, and whole allspice. I don't think they crushed up the way I want, just a little bit further there. And then let's mix them together. So we're mixing together spices, and we've got pickling spice. How's that? Good,
that
right?
Smells just like it.
We've got our pickling spices. Smells like Clausen pickles to me, which are yummy.
Even without the pickles.
So we've got pickling spice. We've got a bunch of garlic that we peeled. We've got some sliced up pickles that we sliced. So let's get rid of all these spices. We do not need them anymore. This is where we put things together. Made our own pickling spice. Easy. Just buy the ingredients, mix the right ratio together. Not that hard. Garlic, it's not as hard as you think to peel if you got the tip. Cut our pickles into spears. Got our jars that are now ready to go. And we've got our dill. Let's do this. So you grab the jar with the pair of tongs, and you gotta dump some of the water out. Go slow and deliberate so it doesn't run down your arm. And now you've got a pretty hot jar to work with, so you gotta be careful not to handle it too much yet. Got the little lid. When you have these lids, double check to make sure they don't stick together. I've had a couple cases where these have stuck together, and then I've put a lid on with like two, and I'm looking for these little lids and they're missing and I don't know what happened to them, and it's because I've got two of these stuck together, right? So I see that it's just one, we're good. We're gonna start with garlic. 2 cloves of garlic. Just drop them in, done. Then I've got these dried haponi, I think I'm saying that right, chili. Just one of those. Just gives you a little bit of spice, a little bit of love. We're gonna add 1 tablespoon of our pickling spice. So I've got a nice tablespoon there. Into the jar. Teaspoon of red pepper flakes, because you know what? Why not? Put it in the jar. And then, grab our washed dill. Honestly, just grab a handful. That looks like a nice handful. Put it into the jar. So we've got a jar full of spices, garlic, 2 cloves. We've got our little chili for some spice. We've got our dill for flavor. How's that smell?
Amazing.
Already smells good, right? And there's nothing in it quite yet. Pretty much you're gonna get 2 to 3 in these pint-sized jars. You're gonna get about 2 to 3 pickles in there, all right? So I'm holding 3. We've got the sliced up ones. We're gonna push them in there. That's 1 slice. And try to get as much into this jar as we can, so when we open it later, we have a nice full jar of pickles to work with. I think I can get 1 more in there. Yeah. All right, see they're nice and tight in the jar. Look good? All right, so now we grab another handful of dill. And we fold it up. We just get it in there, we jam it in there, okay? This is gonna just add more flavor. Don't worry about it being over dilled. It is not possible. That's it. We're gonna add our vinegar, salt, water mixture that we made a little bit earlier. It's cooled down so it's not so hard to handle. I put it into this, out of the pot, into this little white container because it's got a pour spout, if you can see there. So it's a little bit easier to pour. And we're gonna just Fill it to the top. Make sure that's the dill isn't on the edges, preventing it from sealing. Put your seal on. Just tighten it hand tight, and that's it. We just made pickles. That easy. These are easy. They're better than store-bought. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Do it.
Hey, it's me, the crazy raccoon man.